back, another day, another vlog. Great to have you all back wherever you are. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Not locked down or anything silly. Wherever you are, might be some Sydney people that get into lockdown. We've got some issues over there, a couple of cases. So fingers crossed if you are from Sydney or New South Wales, you haven't had a bad week and are not locked up somewhere. So anyway, yeah, quite a relaxing weekend. I hope you got to see, if you haven't seen the new video, day 7 of the South Coast trip. Went up Friday night. I know there's a few people who've had a chance to go and check it out. It's up there, go live. So it's the Valley of the Giants, beautiful big karri trees in the southwest. You can go up into the trees on a suspended walkway. Very, very cool. And I got my drone footage from Elephant Rocks and Green's Pool up in there as well as a bit of an add-on, because I didn't sort of do it. That was it's the only day I could get back there. So yeah, go check it out. I'm pretty happy with some of those Mini 2 shots, and the footage from there worked out really, really cool. So pretty happy with that one. Very, very nice. So go check that out. A lot of fun with all of Elephant Rocks. Again, bucket list location. The trees were fantastic. Beautiful big trees. So peaceful. You could literally, apart from when it's busy and you have a lot of crowds and the kids running and yelling and screaming, it's one of those places where you could probably just stand there for 5 minutes and just absorb the silence, and pretty nice place to sort of reflect, I guess, on your travels, your journeys, and where you have been when you're going down to all that beautiful country down in the southern coast of Western Australia, which is an amazing place. Still more, heaps to come. We've got to start, it's Monday, back to work. We've got to start on this week's video, get day 8 up. I can't remember where it is. I've got it on the computer. I haven't had a chance to look at it. Trying to switch off on the weekends. We're still looking at houses. Had to do another 200-300k run to go and look at a house open. So still trying to work that all out. So life's still a bit chaotic for us in the family. But yeah, doing the best I can. So yeah, I do appreciate your support. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe. If you're looking for some merch, there's obviously these t-shirts if you're in a summer location or coming into summer in the north of the planet. If you're in the southern part of the planet and it's we're going into summer. No, sorry. If you're southern, we're going to winter. If you're northern, you're going to summer. I think that's what it is. Totally just stuffed myself up there. Yeah, go get yourself a hoodie. Why not? I've been wearing this one. Super comfy. It's through Printful. It's the luxury one. I think that it's called like the fancy one. I've put a couple up there. This is really comfy. I've been wearing that all the time. So, and I love this t-shirt. I think it reminds me of my old Beastie Boys t-shirt. So I love this. And we're going to do probably some more different ones with another day, another vlog series, once I get some time and add a few more things up there. But if you haven't checked out the merch store, I do appreciate it. Go check it out. Hook us up. It all goes back into the channel. Yeah, I don't make any money, so everything goes in. So the more I can bring you. So hook us up. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I do appreciate it. I try to do some fun things. We are coming up to 500 episodes for this show. So I'm trying to think out something to do. I think what I'm going to do is maybe do a merch giveaway. So I'll probably order some merch and get that here ready to do a giveaway of the merch. I think that's probably the best way to do. Sort of advertise, give you something nice, get you to see the merch and get it out there, and we'll work out something like that. So 500 episodes, what are we at? 478, so 22 episodes to go, so a few weeks to go. So probably need to get that sorted. But yeah, thanks for being with us for 500 episodes. I never thought that would happen. Yeah, big crazy couple of years it has been. So I do appreciate everyone's support. People over the podcasts, probably it hasn't been going on obviously as long as that, but it's been about just over a year now, because Roadcast is back on. So we started it last year. So we've done a year of podcasting. Thank you for all the people that constantly listen in. We've got the regular listeners, and I do appreciate all your support. Anyway, So yeah, that's what's happening with the show. The day 8 working on this week. That's the project for this week. It's my last basically swing of holidays. Back to work next swing. So 25th I go back to work. I've got to fly back over and get back into normal life and back to the 12.5-hour days and the usual stuff. And I get to see some desert stuff. I'm looking forward to get out and do some astro stuff with the new lenses and give my big 75 to 300 hit with that landscape stuff. So very, very cool. Actually, yeah, it's been a while, so I sort of haven't had much been going out. I did the one at Hervey Bay the other day, and it was all foggy this morning when I woke up. So I got the big lens out and did some close-ups with that fog in the beautiful big trees around here, and come up pretty cool. So lots happening. Rightio, big news in the tech world. Let me just get my notes for this one. Massive now. Currently, I think Apple's I think it's 7 or 5 nanometer. I think we're looking at 7 nanometers for most. I think the Apple chips in the phone, the current ones are 5 nanometer. I'm pretty sure we're there, abouts. IBM has come out and announced they've created the world first 2 nanometer chip. That's pretty insane. 2 nanometers. I guess to give you a bit of an idea, you've got a fingernail. Probably not going to focus in on that. See my fingernail? They can fit 50 billion, that's billion, transistors in the size of my fingernail onto a chip. That's insanity. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Fantastic job on 50 billion transistors in a fingernail. That's just hard to sort of get in your head. Now look, 2 nanometers, I think we're at 5 nanometers now with the Apple chip, but that's the premium one now. Look, they're saying 2 nanometer, basically this is the difference, 45% higher performance, so double your performance, 75% lower energy use than current 7 nanometer chips. So standard Intel chips, I think are 7s and 8. I think they're actually no, we're 7. We're going to 5 nanometer with the next hit because Intel, I think, is still on 10 with theirs, with their Crystal Lake or whatever one. I think they're finally coming down to 7. So look, 75% lower power. That means they're saying current battery on this current technology theoretically could last 4 days. So that's insane for power usage. Very, very cool. Great for mobile phones, makes them smaller. It doesn't really actually give you 4 days because what it does is the manufacturers then go and put a heap of more stuff into it. Bigger camera lenses, bigger this, bigger that, better screens, blah, blah, blah. So you end up back where you are now, still at that day of battery power, but you get all these other amazing features in there. So that's pretty cool. Slashes the carbon footprint of data centers because everything's smaller and they can do much, so everything becomes smaller. So these massive data centers that run the planet's internet and all your stores all your data and everything, can become smaller. Or we use more data because now we can make it bigger and we go to 4K and 8K and 12K video, so we need more. But it fits in a smaller spot, so it reduces that footprint of what we need there. So that's good. That's always good for the environment and for power usage and all that sort of stuff, which is less fossil fuels getting burned to make the power. Blah 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 blah. Faster computers, of course. You've got 50 billion transistors. I think you've probably got maybe say 10 or 15 billion in there now. Now you've got 50 billion, double the increase your transistors, there's more operations can get done. Obviously faster, so that's pretty cool. And faster object detection for autonomous vehicles. So this is a big thing. Autonomous vehicles are coming. We know we've got electric cars are now well on their way into our lives. Tesla's well been in advance of autonomous vehicles and what they can and can't do. Obviously, sensors, it's great to have a million sensors, but if the computers can't keep up and fast enough to get that sensor reading, and go, oh shit, we got it, no, turn left here, turn right, then it's not going to work anyway. So if they're faster and all that, the faster and quicker these things get, well then basically it's going to be better. So that's really cool, and that's going to help for the future, for cars, for safety, for your kids and And that's what it's all about. Most of the time as a driver, you probably don't care about yourself. You're more worried about if something happens to someone else that's in your car, especially if you're a parent like I am, and I got Jack in the car. I really couldn't care what happens to me. But if something happened to him, it would break your heart. So the better the tech, the smaller, the faster, the better, the safer, and that's what it's all about. That's what I think. Anyway, so great job, IBM. Fantastic. I guess what do you do once you get to 0 nanometers? What are we going to do? I don't know how they're going to do it. What do we get to when we get to 1 nanometer? What's the next one after 1 nanometer? It's getting crazy. Technology is just every 12 months. It just befuddles me on how fast and amazing this technology is getting. What these people, some very smart people in these companies are doing, and yeah, big congrats. You got to give it to them. 2 nanometers. That's pretty awesome. Big step. It just means everyone's going to flow. That's going to flow on down the lines, like we see in Formula One cars. That technology flows down. These IBM, which are the big boys that work with businesses and that 2 nanometer is going to flow in. It'll be in your phone soon. It'll be in your laptop. It'll be everywhere. So yeah, huge news and pretty darn cool, I think. Now, over Netflix, they're considering, they're looking at options and doing some surveys and stuff on an N+, a Netflix Plus service. Everyone else has got their Plus, Disney Plus, and all that sort of stuff. And it's going to be all stuff like behind the scenes. They're looking at a podcast even. I don't know how that's going to work on Netflix. Next season chatter, what's coming up next season, talk to directors, talk to actors, I'm assuming, all that sort of stuff. They're still in development and working it out, but it looks like Netflix is going to be having some more options up their sleeves. If you're dedicated fans, you're going to be able to maybe find out what's happening coming up in the next season, in the next show, how they film it, how they create it, which would be good for people like me that actually want to learning the art form of video and all that sort of stuff. Good to see how they do it, the pros do it, and then you can sort of get in your head and gives you some ideas to how to do it for you. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, early days, costs nothing as yet, but I don't think it's probably be another maybe $5 or something. I'm assuming that they won't want to put it too high, so people don't do it. They want to try and get as many in just to up them, so they keep getting that extra another $5 in the kitty, I guess. Now, big news for the Tile front. Tile, Apple AirPods, the 2 major players in the tracking. Apple has the ecosystem, as we all know, so that's the big advantage they have. Tile's been around since 2012, so they've got the know-how, the expertise. They've got it nailed down flat. They just don't have the ecosystem. Well, Amazon has now partnered with Tile, and we now have the ability. They've opened up their Amazon system, their mesh network, I think it is. So now that gives them a massive spectrum of growth instantaneously. So any devices using that Amazon mesh network system in the house or whatever now will pick up your Tiles. So that then it has expanded. It's a big fight back. It's something really positive, I guess. The more competition, the better things become, the cheaper and all that. This is a big thing for Tile. I think it'll keep them in the game. It's great news for Android users that don't use iOS, so that's fantastic, because you should have your own choice. I don't believe in forcing people to. If everyone had Apples, it'd be boring as crap, especially on the tech front doing this show, because you'd only have one show a year or 2 shows a year to report on and be like, oh yeah, we'll see you in 6 months. So I think it's fantastic that Tile and Amazon have teamed up, and Amazon's allowing them to use that mesh network. They could have gone and done their own tag. They're saying Google's probably going to do their own and use their Android system. So there's more. I think that space is going to really heat up a bit. There's going to be more on that tracking stuff. Again, it's something I had Tiles when they first came out in 2012. I did the first year and I signed up and I thought it was a good idea. Not once in 12 months did I ever have to go to find something, because I just don't lose stuff. I put it back where I get it from. and has been a OCD mechanic and warehouse and spreadsheet person. I run a simple system. Everything has a place and everything in its place. And if it's not in its place, there's something wrong, and I will, I lose my nut. So I check everything 50 times anyway. So I don't think I've ever lost anything like that. So it doesn't work for me. So it's not a product I would buy. But if you do have a forgetful mind, if you've got 6 kids running around and driving you nuts and you're doing 5 things and trying to run a business, I can completely understand. And definitely now you've got increased options with probably more coming from the Google side. So yeah, definitely a space we're going to hear more about. And that's about it. Not a massive amount today, as it's still Sunday. It's Mother's Day for all of you mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day for yesterday. If you're in the States, happy Mother's Day for today. Look fantastic. Unfortunately, I don't have my mum with me anymore, but I always, whenever I see all the advertising for Mother's Day, I used to get upset about it. Now it's good. I reflect and go, yeah, anytime you can remember mum and dad and all the fun stuff and the good things in your life, that's always good. So I think it's a good day. A bit of reflection for me. I will see you all again tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Again, big shout out to all your mums. You do a great job. And I will see you all again tomorrow, Tuesday, for the next show. So if you're going this way, that way, happy Mother's Day. Peace.